Hey everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash and today I'm going to be doing a quick review for Onion Assault on the Nintendo Switch consoles. Let's take a look. So, Onion Assault is a upcoming platformer game from the developers of Gunman Clyde and Mextermination Force. Now, in this game, you play as a brave onion farmer or his mother who have to stop this fascist army from invading their land, basically. So, basically, this army starts attacking and they fight back. So, it features classic old school platforming action and it's inspired by sort of 8-bit classic games. The game features full 3D graphics with a unique art style and its own custom engine, and you basically defeat this army by pulling out onions and throwing them at enemies, or by picking the enemies up and throwing them at each other or down holes and stuff like that. Now, the game features 16 different levels with a variety of different environments, obstacles, enemies, and boss fights to take part in. So, what did we think to this game? Honestly, I quite like this. Now, I must admit, I played as the farmer's mum. I just thought it looked so much funnier. It reminded me of those rapping grannies or whatever they were on the Eurovision with the headscarves and stuff like that. And it just made me funny that I could just imagine like some old woman going around and shouting at invading forces and stuff to like get off a land and stuff like that. So I played as her for the majority of my gameplay. If you play as the farmer, it's exactly the same game. You just have a different character skin basically. There's no difference in the gameplay. Now, the gameplay itself isn't too bad. It's very sort of a collectathon style gameplay. There's lots of coins or gold bars to collect. Collecting enough of them gives you an extra life. Very much similar to Sonic and the Rings in the classic Sonic games. Now, you'll fight across a variety of different environments, collecting these golden sort of tokens while also defeating enemies to get to the end of each stage. Now, as you progress through each of these stages, there are a variety of different enemies you'll come across. Some of them are sort of they just walk left and right. You've just got to sort of jump over them or throw onions or other projectiles at them. Others are much more difficult to beat. Like I say, some of them have guns, some of them have different sort of rates of fire. There's flying enemies, stuff like that, and you basically have to sort of fight your way through and deal with them one by one. Now, there's a nice variety of different environments in the game. The art style, it's very sort of cel shaded on the edges, which I quite like. It's not super detailed, but that doesn't negate from the game. It's very bright and colourful. Definitely reminds me of playing like Super Mario on the SNES and stuff like that. The throw mechanics work really well, especially when you get like barrels and stuff like that, and you can roll them down a hill and knock a load of enemies out at once. And the platforming is also pretty good. There is a sort of sprint button to make you jump further, and sometimes I felt like it could have dealt with maybe a shadow under where you're going to land, because I occasionally missed the odd jump by sprinting and not 100% knowing exactly where I was going. Now, the boss fights are pretty cool as well. Like the first boss fight, I'll not spoil them all, but the first boss fight is like a tank, and the tank shoots rockets at you. You've got to jump over it, and then you've got to jump on the top, and like you've got to like flip it over and then throw it. And then once you've done that the first time, it sort of loops. It'll shoot you more frequently, and also you can't jump on the top until a certain point because a bloke will get out and start whacking you with his like baton, basically. And you have to just do that. It's very much the old sort of platforming boss fights of old, where they've all got their own patterns and stuff like that, and it's all about figuring out what to do. Very much like, say, classic sort of Sonic games and stuff where Robotnik could be at the end. Now, difficulty wise, it's not super difficult. Every now and again, like I say, you will die from falling. Like you can see on the screen, I've left it on now, where I was jumping too far and stuff like that. And odd times I felt like the hitboxes weren't perfect. Sometimes throwing something in one run would hit someone, and I'd do it in my next run and it would totally miss them. However, overall, I really enjoyed the game. It had, like I say, a nice variety of levels and boss fights, and with each level, sort of new mechanics are introduced. So, like in the first level, you've got like the falling platforms and the moving platforms. Then you've got the weighted items that you've got to lift up and pull out. And then you've also got a variety of other things that are introduced in the later levels, different types of enemies, all that sort of stuff. So overall, not a bad little game. It's not perfect. It's got a nice little soundtrack, and it's enjoyable overall for fans of platforming games. So I definitely recommend picking up this game if you're into your platformers. It's coming to Switch and PC. Comes to Switch on the 26th of January at $7.99. Fun little game. You'll get a couple of hours worth of content out of it easily, if not longer, depending on your skill level. But the boss fights are absolutely fantastic. They're all sort of mainly like mechanical, sort of army-based sort of enemies. There's one which is like jumping around, dropping bombs on you. That really reminded me of like classic platforming games. There's a variety of cool environments, including sort of, like I say, you start off in the sort of normal, it's like a wooded, I'd say, like hilltop zone. You end up in like a treetop zone. There's a snowy zone. There's like a castle themed zone. All brightly coloured, all looking great, and it handles really well as well. Hopefully it comes out to other systems in the future as well. I'd like to replay this on Xbox, maybe get a few more achievements and stuff like that. But the fact that it sort of pays homage to those classic sort of Mario games and Sonic games and stuff like that, I really, really recommend this, especially the further you get into it with all the extra sort of mechanics, dealing with all of the sort of environmental hazards, levers, platforms, all that sort of stuff. Really, really well done. So if you like this game, make sure you check it out. It's out in less than 2 weeks now at the time of recording this. If you've liked this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and we will see you soon for more gaming content. Bye for now.